Good evening, everyone. We are coming at you live from the Fox Island Bridge. It's a great low tide tonight, and we're gonna just see what we can get. Hopefully we won't get too cold or too wet, but here we are. I'm out here with my lovely husband.
Date night!
We are out for like the first time without our children in months.
Oh, where are they?
And we're gonna go explore the low tide. So if you're just joining us, you want to post in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to know that information, as well as any questions that you have. I'll try to answer them as we go. But otherwise, we're gonna kick things off. Let me flip this around. All right. Okay, so let's see. We've got a little bit of time before the tide reaches its low. It is wet. Oh, I already see some cool creatures. Check it out. All right, we've got the first leather star of the, and a fish. The first leather star of the evening. This is called a leather star because they are slimy and definitely feel just like wet leather, which is really kind of interesting compared to most of the sea stars around here. They're very spiny and very sharp, but this one is smooth. They have this really distinctive pattern on their back. They're kind of blue and orange and reddish. There's also a ton of fish and shrimp moving around here. It's hard to film them because it's raining. It's hard to see. But there's also, good eyes, Jen, a really big kelp crab here. Although this poor kelp crab is missing their pinchers. Looks like a male, but I don't really want to reach in there and investigate too much. We're seeing, I see a little bit of fishing tackle here. So let's see if we can maybe pull this up, take this home with us. Thank you, dear. There are, gosh, so many shrimp out tonight too. We will see a lot more. Oh, look, there's a shrimp just right on our kelp crab. Amazing. We'll see a lot of shrimp, a lot of kelp crabs, and probably a lot of leather stars tonight. We're gonna do the opposite side of the beach than we've done in previous videos. If you want to check those out, they're all available on our Facebook page as well as YouTube. So many thanks to our board members who helped put those up online for us. We've got a little bit of ulva sea lettuce growth beginning here. That's what the green is. Let's see, we've got, there's a couple of different shrimp in this puddle here. These larger appear to be broken back shrimp. Yeah, this one right here. There he goes. Very quick. Speedy little guys. All right. It's very mushy on this side of the beach. The gravel and the mud are really giving way beneath me. Oh, good eyes. Found another one. Wow, that's a pretty big one. You can see my hand for scale here. Nice big sea star. One thing that's really characteristic of sea stars is this little spot that's just off center on the star. That's called the madreporite. And that is how they bring seawater into their bodies. Madreporite, I think translates to mother pour. Oh, here we go. Got another really big crab up in here. This is a red rock crab. Red rock crabs are the largest intertidal crab we have, but not the biggest crab overall. Oh, look at the color on that one. Wow. That is beautiful. The biggest crabs that we have here in the Puget Sound are the Puget Sound king crabs, and Dungeness crabs get quite large. I promised we were going to see lots of leather stars. Here's another red rock crab. So you can always tell a red rock crab because they have the black-tipped pinchers and this very cancer crab shape to them. They generally have very, very big, heavy, meaty pinchers. And when they're juveniles, I'll see if we can find a juvenile, they have kind kind of a mottled, speckled pattern on their back, which is really beautiful. Yeah, lots of shrimp hiding. All right. I like to look out into the water. I know it makes for a terrible video, but sometimes I can find cool things that are not quite exposed yet. So my head is kind of a little bit on a swivel over here. The last time we were at this beach, we did come across a octopus. So there's always hope for another one of those. More of these leather stars. Oh, this leather star right here, I'm gonna lift it up to show you, has a scale worm living on it. So that red that you see right there is a worm, and that's a commensal species that lives on the sea star. It benefits the worm tremendously to have a place to live and shelter and an animal that brings it to food and protects it. And it was thought for a long time that the scale worms were just taking all the benefit where the sea stars weren't. But in other species, relationships between scale worms and like keyhole limpets, for example, it's been demonstrated that the worm can help fend off predators, which is really great. So here, I've got another one. I'm gonna get my hands wet to touch and flip it over to see if there's no scale worms on this one, but you can see those beautiful tube feet, and then this little bag here in the center, it looks like cellophane. That is the stomach. So sea stars are carnivorous. That means they're eating animal food sources, and they generally consume them by taking their stomach out of their body. Ooh, what do you see? Oh, so many shrimp.
There's a gunnel in there.
Oh, and a gunnel. So we'll kind of wait for the dust to settle on this little puddle. And somewhere, Jen says there's a fish. I don't know if I believe him. Uh-huh. Sure, there's a fish.
I saw him.
What's cool about these little shrimp, these are Sitka shrimp. When they feed on the green algae, they take on this green coloration, which is really cool. Also starting to get into Anemone Town, where we've got these aggregating anemones. We will see a lot more of those tonight.
Their eyes reflect the light.
Yeah, the shrimp. So what you can't see on the video very well is that the shrimp's eyes kind of glow, and that's them reflecting the glare from our headlamps and things. They just kind of look a little reddish, but they glow in person.
There has to be 30 of them in here.
Oh yeah, they're
That's crazy.
They're everywhere. Nice find. I trust you'll put that rock back. Got him trained well. More of those aggregating anemones. All right, let's keep our eyes open. Oh gosh, there's so many. What are we up to? 10, it feels like, of these. Oh, holy cow. Look at the size of that thing. Jen, put your face down there so we have something to compare it to.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe just your hand then. Yeah, that is a big leather star. That is about as big as they get. Fantastic. What a great find. Always really encouraged when we see big predators like sea stars. Look at the size of this one. My goodness, that's my boot for scale. So vibrant. Each one's just a little bit different. Gorgeous. Let's see. I wish it wasn't raining. It's been really calm today, wind-wise, and so the visibility in the water is quite good, but since it's raining, it makes it really tough to spot anything underneath the surface. All right, I'm gonna move kind of quickly across this mushy part of the beach to try to get to some of the bigger rocks where I know we can find more animals. So this is one of my favorite locations to do a beach walk because it's a little bit different than most of the Southtown beaches around here. So this is what we're looking at right here is typical glacial till type substrate where you have sand and rocks and clay, and not really large rocks or anything like that that would offer really oh my gosh, that is a heron. I hope my microphone picked that up. A great blue heron just flew across and was outraged that we had the audacity to be out here at night, and it screamed like a pterodactyl, I imagine. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, the beaches. The beach kind of having sand and this glacial till is pretty typical of most of the south part of Puget Sound. Sometimes you get these clay banks like this little outcropping here, but there's not a huge lot of really rocky areas, but where the bridge is built, there's a lot. Oh yeah, so now we're into Kelp Crab Town. We'll start to see lots of, you don't have front pinchers either. Oh, bud, that is rough. Here's another big red rock crab hiding under there. Love it. Another kelp crab. You don't have pinchers either. Okay, who's out here? You're the only one with pinchers. What do you have to say for yourself? This is a nice big male. I'm actually gonna lift it up and talk about it. So I'm gonna hand my phone off. Yeah, this is a big, healthy northern kelp crab. And I can tell it's a male before I even picked it up by the really large pinchers. They're really thick and muscular. And then this bright red coloration is pretty typical of them when they're fully mature. When they're young, they're going to be this color, kind of kelpy brown, brownish yellow. So this, you can see a good view of their mouth parts. So crabs don't have jaws in the way that we think of them, like something that could take a bite out of, but they do have several sets of these mandibles, very similar to what ants might have. They're called chelicera. I wonder if they'll wiggle them for us. No? You really don't like me touching them? You're going to come in with your claw? Yeah, okay. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. The other way that I can tell it's a male is by looking right here, this triangular flap, the tail flap. On a female would touch her legs on either side and be really rounded and kind of almost bulbous, so that could hold onto the eggs. This is a crab that has a nose, a rostrum, that kind of sticks out right here, and their antennae are just shorter than that, which is really kind of neat to see. And this is a crab that's really hard to handle because, as you can see, they're quite flexible and disengaged in the very sharp, very pokey little feet. And see, look right behind themselves. This crab can actually reach a good ways behind. So we're gonna let you be. The tide's gone out even farther since we've been just talking about these kelp crabs. So I will take this back, and so here's the smaller one. This one is a female, so you can see the difference on that belly flap right there. This one's really wide and big, doesn't come to a point, and also she has smaller pinchers. Again, we've got kelp crab and kelp crab and kelp crab. They are. Oh yeah, here's a little juvenile. It's nice to have a spotter sometimes. How do I show you off? Underwater. There's, do you believe me? There is a red rock crab juvenile down in there, as well as lots and lots of shrimp and even some fish too. Nice. Okay, so back to what I like about this beach. When they built the road, they brought in big rocks as kind of the foundation for the roadway. And that, wow, look at all these kelp crabs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we got some crab on crab violence here. No wonder you guys are always losing your claws. Sheesh, break it up. I guess they have a reputation for being crabby, so I'll allow it. Oh, look, this one's gonna referee. He's gonna step in and say, hey, break it up, you two. You can't, there are so many of these kelp crabs out here. And we haven't even gotten to the bridge where they really like to be. Goodness, more. Wow. Yeah. Adopting the naturalist pose here. Get down low, squat, see what you can see underneath things. This little clay rocky outcropping here is great for looking under. Of course I'm too tall. So this right here is it's just a leather star that is succumbing to gravity a little bit. Gravity, you know what they say, is always trying to bring you down. And it happens for anemones and sea stars. Any of the softer water-filled animals really look a little sad during the low tide. The ones with the exoskeletons, like all these kelp crabs, hundreds and hundreds of kelp crabs, they do just fine as long as they can be wet. Wow. So a healthy, thriving kelp crab population. Kelp crabs are scavengers when the opportunity arrives. But most of the time they're eating kelp, like their name says. So they live in it, they hide on it. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, there's like a swarm of them. I can't even count them. Look at them all. This is insane. You really have to watch where you step over here. Can you believe all these little black splotches in the water are all kelp crabs? They're getting pushed out by the tide somewhat. As the tide goes out, they're going deeper. Got just so many. Might have to come back on one of these low tides this week if the weather's gonna shape up so we can really get a good view. I have a little tray I can put in the water to break the surface tension and make it really easy to film these critters. Ooh, and then of course we have dead crab. Yuck, we're gonna move away from that because that is a little stinky. But again, still hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kelp crabs. Wow. Lots of... Oh, there's even more of them. My goodness. I don't think I'll ever stop being amazed at how many crabs are here. Incredible. Wow, yeah, here we've got a big pile. My goodness. That's a lot of crabs. Wow. Fantastic. Okay, so now we've made it to the rocks, which is what I wanted us to see. We do have a little bit of a scramble. I can walk through the water a little bit, although there's so many crabs. I don't know that I want to put my toes in that water. But we can start peeking up underneath some of these big rocks to see various animals. So way at the back there, little orange blobs are sea cucumbers. We'll find some better ones to look at here in a second. Other things I would expect to find up in here would be some big anemones. Ooh, yeah, like that. It's a big fish-eating anemone. Preying on the tide pool fish that'll shelter in the rocks. Yeah, so here's another orange sea cucumber. Oh, and here's one underwater. Okay, so this is a beautiful find right here. I'm gonna try to block the rain a little and not fall on the slippery rocks. Singing helps, I think. Okay, now we gotta get rid of the glare. Okay, how do we do it? Which light is glaring on me? I don't know, but here we go. Hopefully this is giving you a good picture of the feeding plume of the orange sea cucumber. Very well named. They're very orange. And they have 5 of these feathered tentacles that they stick out to capture plankton in the water, and then they shove them in their mouth, and whatever they caught gets digested. So like their cousins, the sea stars and urchins and sand dollars, they have what we call radial symmetry. Oh, here's a beautiful anemone. That's a gorgeous one. Like all echinoderms, pentaradial symmetry. So 5. Ooh, it is slick here. Do not fall, husband. I don't want to have to carry you out of here. I'm going to try not to fall because I don't want to be carried out of here. So we'll go walk lower in the tide pool. It's a little treacherous here. Oh, so here we go. Here's a very a little sadder sea cucumber here, or a couple of them, wilting under the weight of gravity, but a beautiful specimen. Love to see that. They kind of are this bright orange color, or there's a maroon variety of the same species. I would assume genetics is responsible for that, but I'm not positive. If anybody knows and wants to put it in the... I just put my hand on this sea star. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was just trying to balance. All right. Might not be able to go too much farther. Yeah, here's those kind of maroon variety of those sea cucumbers. They're really pretty. Got a big shrimp, like a spot prawn maybe? Oh, nice. Oh yeah, look at that. Move your light, dear. Or move my light. Okay, how do I see you? Shrimpy?
He's crawling underneath it.
Yeah, he's gone. Cool. He'll take our word for it. There was a spot prawn there. It was beautiful. Not a species that I don't think I've ever seen one intertidally, so that's the first for me. Again, in the crevices we have some more sad anemones here. But yeah, thanks for tuning in with us tonight. If you appreciate the broadcast and want to support Harbor Wild Watch, you can always make a donation right here through Facebook, right through the app. That's a secure way to do that. Or you can head on over to harborwildwatch.org and make your donation through PayPal there. Oh, there's a big fish right there. Type sculpin. Oh, and a red rock crab. What was I saying? Oh yeah, donations. So if you want to, you can donate through our website. We also do have the ability to take a check through the mail. Oh, there's another heron around here. He just landed on the beach down there. I really hope that comes through. Otherwise, it's just going to be me screaming for no reason on the video. I guess maybe let me know if you heard the heron. We've got another big red rock crab here amongst all of the kelp crabs. The red rock crab. Ooh, and there's another spot prawn. It's a little murky here in this water. Hard to get a good view of that critter. But nice to know that they're here. But yeah, we have a new mailing address, and that's up on our website, so you can send us support that way. And there's lots of free ways that you can support Harbor Wild Watch as well. Because we're utilizing social media to get all of our programs out. You can like and follow and comment and share. And those are all free things to do. If you know other people who would be interested in learning more about the Salish Sea, you can always share our page with them. All right. Okay, I'm going to go talk about these things. And then I think I need to put my phone down because I'm going to fall. So maybe we'll wrap it up. But let's see. I just want to talk about these little guys. These are not the souls of mermaids who made a deal with Ursula, although they totally look like that. These are little anemones. You can just barely see their little pink tentacles at the end, just waiting for gravity. A big shrimp by my foot. Oh yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Cool. They can't see. You guys just trust me. There's shrimp here, I promise. Their eyes glow. There's a lot of them. I don't know if you guys can see those, but yeah, there's a lot of life here once you get to the negative tides. Unfortunately for me, those are in the winter time, so Lucky you get to be home watching from the comfort of your couch, and I get to be out here in the rain, but at least I'm getting a date night out of it, so happy about that. All right, well, I think I'm going to wrap up because it gets a bit treacherous here, and I definitely don't want to drop my phone or my light or my keys, so I think this is a great place for us to end. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will be broadcasting live the next 2 nights as well if we don't freeze tonight, so tune in then. Thanks everybody.